Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 8th of August 2023. So just some closing thoughts on the Jam for Freedom Festival that me and Lorraine went to over the weekend. This will be pretty much the last word apart from introducing videos, because I've got a lot of videos for you from that event which I'll be releasing over the period of the next couple of weeks or so. But Lorraine and I really enjoyed the event. We got lots out of it, lots of value from it. We saw some great bands, some great comedians, lots of very interesting talks, and I was able to film many people. I got lots of interviews, and yeah, 3 nights and 4 days of camping as well. So it was really good. But to say there was 1 or 2 hitches during the event would be pretty much the understatement of the year. Sadly, pretty much anything and everything that could go wrong did go wrong at the event, and I'm sure the organisers were absolutely tearing their hair out. As I say, as far as we're concerned, it didn't detract from the enjoyment of it, but I think a few people were, attendees were a little bit miffed, and I think I'm not going to go into what the problems were, but basically the organisers, it was a combination of they were let down by various suppliers and key people who they thought were going to turn up and help them, who didn't in the end, and also a few mistakes on their part. But then again, the organisers are a relatively young team, therefore I suppose relatively inexperienced, and I'm sure they're just going to get better going forward. But the way I see it, it's like this: we in the freedom movement are trying to build a new world. The old world that we thought we could rely on until 2020, we found that we can't rely on that world, and we've decided to, at least in part, leave that world and go in a different direction. And I know that's the case as far as I'm concerned. I'm doing all of these videos, both this kind of thing and also all of these events that I go to, all of these interviews I do, all these talks I film. I never thought I'd be doing that, and I'm certainly not the best videographer in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I'm really not. Will I learn? Will I get better? Over time I will, but I'm making mistakes, especially with some of these talks. I'm getting the sound wrong, I'm getting the exposure wrong, and various other technical hitches, although I think I am at least getting the videos out there, and at least doing something. And many other people are doing things they didn't think they would be doing. So we're building this new world of freedom, and at the moment we're all very inexperienced in doing that, and relatively, at a sort of relatively amateurish stage, I guess, because after all we've lived in this world where everything's organised, or has been organised for us for many decades, hundreds of years even. So they've got everything down to a fine art, and that includes things like festivals. If you go to the Reading Festival, the Glastonbury Festival, and all of the other ones, they've been used to doing festivals for a very long time, however long those festivals have been going on for sort of 50 years or whatever, and it's all very slick. But there again, you can't depend on those people to let you in future years without having certain procedures. You can't rely on them opening at all if the government issue some kind of new diktat to say, oh yeah, sorry guys, you can't have your festivals this year, well, they're just going to those organisers of those big events are going to very meekly roll over and go, oh yes sir, 3 bags full sir, and sort of not have their events running. But at least we are building a world where we can go to these things organised for us by like-minded people, and we won't have to worry about any kind of mandates. We won't have to worry about any kind of government diktats, because our events will be running regardless of what the government sort of tells us what we can and can't do. We will be doing our thing and living in our own world. But as we build this new world, it's not going to be plain sailing, is it? There's going to be all sorts of problems, because we are all very inexperienced. We're going down avenues we never thought we'd go down. The organiser of the Jam for Freedom, Campbell McLaughlin, he's a relatively young guy, not quite sure exactly how old he is, I guess sort of mid-20s sort of range. And I'm sure prior to 2020, he didn't think, I don't know what he had planned for his life, but probably organising massive great music festivals didn't feature in his future plans, and yet he's kind of gone down that route to our new world of freedom, and he's going to make a lot of mistakes. Probably the next 2, 3, 4 Jam for Freedoms are going to be not as sort of fraught as this one, but there will be hitches and things won't go perfectly. And that goes for everything that everybody else in the freedom movement are doing as well. We are going to get problems. It's not going to be plain sailing, but we're all out there doing our thing, and we're just going to get better and better and better. I can't wait to see what the Jam for Freedom is going to be like in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years time, if I'm still able to go to festivals like that in 15 years time. Well, I guess I'm only going to be sort of mid-70s, so think positively. I'll be still doing that sort of thing, no problem. But you know what I mean, though? We're not going to get to where we want to be without hitches, but the important thing is that we're all out there, we're all trying, we're all doing our very best to build a new future, a future that the powers that shouldn't be don't want us to have. We're building it anyway, regardless of what they want, and we are going to have hitches, we are going to make a lot of mistakes, and all of that kind of thing. But like I say, I can't wait to see what the freedom movement is going to be like in years to come. When you think what we've achieved, we've gone from a standing start. Who would have thought that we would have gone from a total 100% standing start in 2020, early 2021, to just a couple of years later going to great big festivals, and that's not the only one. There's other ones happening up and down the country, all sorts of other events happening. We've got all of these organisations now, sort of grassroots organisations, which is taking care of everything from sort of medical needs to food production and so many other things. And all I can say is I just want you guys doing this to carry on, not just let the odd hitch here and there get in your way. Just carry on. What's that old saying? When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. but there's an even better one. I'm just trying to remember what it was. Oh yeah, it's just when the going gets tough, keep going. That is the simple message, really. And I applaud people in the freedom movement who are doing things, and I really think it's fantastic that people are out there organising these things, doing these things. And yeah, don't let these hitches and these setbacks get in your way. Don't let them get you down. Carry on doing what you're doing, and together we are going to get there. We are going to build the future that we want, that we think is right, and the future that the powers that shouldn't be don't want us to have. But despite all the problems and despite all of their best efforts to throw a spanner in our works, we will get there. So with that, I have got some videos that I shot at the Jam for Freedom all ready to go now. There was the interview with Mad Mix that I put on here yesterday, and I've got some other interviews which I'll probably be putting onto here over the next, well, I'll put one on tonight, and I'll do a few more over the coming days. There's also a couple of videos on Rumble, my Rumble channel. I'll see if I can link to them in the description box below as well, but if there's no links there, you can access those videos from well, just go to my Rumble channel, go to Rumble, it's Fair Play Now UK, all one word, no gaps in between any of that, Fair Play Now UK, and you'll see a couple of videos there currently. One's by a very funny comedian in the freedom movement called Phil Zimmerman. He's really good. And another one which was a panel on Sunday that I attended and filmed, hosted by Sonia Poulton, you know, the very outspoken lady who you know, puts the truth out there in a very hard-hitting way. And she had a very interesting panel who were sort of coming up with some great insights, including Darren Nesbitt of the Light newspaper, and a few others as well. Brad from 5 Times August was there, Bob Moran and Robin Monotti as well. So those 2 videos will be in the Rumble, and hopefully I'll get it in the description box below here as well. So go and check those out, and I'll be back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.